Have you ever made a mistake that turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to you? Well, today's story is about a ranch owner named Sarah, who made a mix-up so huge it completely changed her life and the life of a very special animal. This isn't just a story about getting the wrong horse. It's a story about destiny, second chances, and the incredible bond between humans and animals. Sarah had been saving up for years to buy her dream horse. She wasn't just looking for any horse. She wanted a majestic, strong quarter horse, a champion in the making, to be the new star of her ranch. After months of searching, she finally found him online. His name was Spartan. He was perfect, a stunning chestnut with a powerful build and a pedigree that promised greatness. She went through all the steps, paid the hefty price, and arranged for his delivery. The day Spartan was scheduled to arrive, the whole ranch was buzzing with excitement. Sarah had prepared his stall, bought the best feed, and couldn't stop picturing the ribbons they would win together. When the horse trailer finally pulled up the long, dusty driveway, Sarah's heart was pounding. The rump lowered, and out stepped not Spartan. This horse was skinny, almost frail. His coat was a dull, mousy brown, and his eyes looked tired and sad. He had a few scars on his legs and carried himself with a weariness that broke Sarah's heart. This was not the proud, powerful champion she had paid for. This was a horse that looked like he'd seen better days, and those days were long, long ago. Sarah's first reaction was a mix of confusion and frustration. She immediately called the seller. The line was busy. She tried again. Busy, a knot of dread started to form in her stomach. She checked the paperwork that came with the horse. The name on the papers was Chance. His history was sparse, listing him as a former ranch hand horse with no notable achievements. Sarah realized a terrible mistake had been made. The seller must have mixed up the horses. She was furious. She had spent her life savings on a champion, and she had received Chance. Days turned into a week. Sarah kept calling the seller, but there was no answer. The number was eventually disconnected. It became painfully clear that this was no accident. She had been scammed. Her dream horse, Spartan, was gone, likely sold to someone else, and she was left with this sad, unwanted animal. The disappointment was crushing. All her hopes and dreams for the ranch felt like they were crumbling. She looked at Chance standing quietly in the paddock, and all she saw was a symbol of her failure. For the first few weeks, Sarah was distant. She provided Chance with food, water, and a clean stall, but she did it with a heavy heart. She couldn't bring herself to connect with him. He was a constant, living reminder of the dream that had been stolen from her. The other ranch hands were sympathetic, but they also saw something Sarah didn't. They noticed how Chance would watch Sarah with intelligent, gentle eyes. He never caused any trouble. He was patient, almost as if he understood her disappointment and was willing to wait. One evening, Sarah was feeling particularly low. The financial strain of the ranch was weighing on her, and the ghost of Spartan haunted her thoughts. She walked out to the paddock, intending to just check on the horses before heading in. But she found herself stopping by Chance's fence. He walked over to her, not with the pushy energy of most horses, but with a quiet grace. He rested his head on the fence rail near her and let out a soft sigh. It was a simple, profound moment of connection. For the first time, Sarah didn't see a mistake. She saw a gentle soul asking for nothing more than a little kindness. That night was a turning point. Sarah decided that feeling sorry for herself wasn't helping anyone, least of all this horse who had done nothing wrong. The next morning she went out with a new resolve. She started spending real time with Chance. She groomed his dull coat until it started to shine. She talked to him, telling him about her day, her worries, and her dreams, and Chance listened. He would nuzzle her shoulder, his soft eyes filled with a gentle wisdom. She discovered he was incredibly smart and eager to please. As they started training together, Sarah was shocked. While Chance didn't have the explosive power of a champion quarter horse, he had something else, an incredible heart and an uncanny intuition. He seemed to know what Sarah wanted before she even gave the command. They developed a silent language, a bond built on trust and mutual respect. He wasn't the horse she thought she wanted, but she started to realize he might be the horse she truly needed. One day, one of the younger ranch hands, A teenage girl named Lily who was struggling with anxiety was having a particularly tough time. She was sitting by the fence, crying. Chance, who was grazing nearby, walked over to her. He didn't do much. He just stood there, a calm and solid presence, and gently nudged her hand with his nose. Lily started stroking his neck, and her tears slowly subsided. Sarah watched from a distance, her heart swelling with pride. Chance had a gift. He was a natural therapy horse. This discovery opened up a whole new world for Sarah and her ranch. She started a small equine therapy program, with Chance as the star. People from all over the community started coming. Veterans dealing with PTSD, children with special needs, and people just struggling with the stresses of modern life. Chance had a magical effect on all of them. His calm demeanor and gentle nature helped people open up and heal in ways they never thought possible. The ranch, which had been struggling financially, began to thrive. But it wasn't the prize money from competitions that saved it. It was the joy and healing that Chance brought to so many people. Sarah's ranch became known not for its champions but for its heart. It became a sanctuary, a place of peace and recovery. Sarah would often find herself just watching Chance in the field, surrounded by adoring visitors, and she would smile. She never forgot about Spartan, the horse she was supposed to get. But the anger and disappointment were gone, replaced by a deep, profound gratitude. The scam, the mistake, the wrong horse, it had all led her to this. It had led her to her true purpose. It wasn't about winning ribbons. It was about changing lives. Chance wasn't a champion in the traditional sense. He would never win a race or a show-jumping competition. But in the eyes of Sarah, and in the hearts of every person he helped, he was the greatest champion of all. He was living proof that sometimes life's biggest mistakes are actually destiny's greatest gifts. The wrong horse turned out to be exactly the right one, not just for Sarah, but for an entire community. He wasn't the horse she planned for, but he was the horse that remade her world. So, the next time something in your life doesn't go according to plan, maybe think of Sarah and Chance. It might just be the universe nudging you towards something even better. Thanks so much for watching and sharing this journey with us. If you loved this story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more uplifting content. We'll see you in the next video.